Stay tuned, I'm going to be making the easiest flower ring ever. Hey guys, Susan Thomas here, and today I'm going to make the easiest flower ring ever. It's also impactful and beautiful, so I think you're going to love the project. This is what it looks like when you're done. You would never know that that was super easy to make, would you? Stick around and we're going to get started. All right, to make the easiest flower ring ever, you're going to need one bead, and it's going to need to be a flower. These are really cool beads. They're actually acrylic. They're here at JTV. They are available in a little set. It's a Jesse James bead set, and it's called Happy Camper. So if you want to get a couple of these cool beads, that's where you're going to need to look for it. As you can see, it's got a little hole kind of going down through the center of the bead from the side. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Now, that's going to be kind of the heartbeat of our ring. You're also going to need some basic tools. You're going to need a ring mandrel. I've got one with a groove in it. You do not have to have one with a groove, either a groove or no groove for this particular ring. You can either get into the groove or not get in the groove. We will be using a flush cutter. Flush cutter is very important for ring designs because you're actually going to be cutting up underneath the ring, and you don't want anything kind of poking you or scratching your finger. And I'm going to be using a chain nose plier just to squish down any ends that are sticking out. And finally, we're going to use this bare gold wire from Parawire, which is a really nice kind of medium temper wire with a beautiful, beautiful color. It's actually a brass wire, but it mimics the tone of a 14 karat gold and is often used interchangeably for an inexpensive alternative. So that's what we're going to be using today. So we'll get started. All right, step number one, all you're going to do is take some of this wire. It is 20 gauge wire and just kind of the perfect gauge for a ring. So I'm going to pull off about 1.5 feet of this wire, just like so, and go ahead and cut it right here on the side. You need about 1.5 feet because this is a wrap ring, so we're going to go around the mandrel several times to make a thick enough band so that it's sturdy on your finger. Next step is to take that little flower that we have here, and you're just going to thread the wire through the hole in the flower. And these are kind of cool because they're flat on the back, which is kind of why they make such great rings. So I'm just going to pull that into the center here and just find my center. It doesn't have to be exact, but pretty close to the center works. And we're going to take the 20 gauge wire and we're going to bend it down on both sides of the hole. So that's what it's going to look like. And I'll kind of turn this to the camera so you guys can see what I've done so far. I just have about 1 foot of wire coming out of each side of the flower. Okay, so next step is you're going to take that ring mandrel and you're just going to kind of thread the two sides of the wire through there. Now, one thing about wire rings, they're super, super easy, but there's a couple pitfalls, and the main pitfall is this. They shrink when you make them. So they usually shrink about a size. So if you want to make a size 8 ring, you're going to want to start on your ring mandrel at the size 9. So that's where I am right now because I want to make a size 8. I want to wear it on my pointer finger, and I wear a size 8 on my pointer finger. So I am starting my wrapping up here on the size 9. You can see the numbers on this mandrel, so it makes it really easy. And you're going to wrap the wire around 2 times in one direction in front of the bead. Hold it with your thumb and take the other side and wrap it around 2 times in back of the bead. So I'll turn this up and you can kind of see what's happened here. The flower is sitting on top, and I'm using that grooved mandrel today, so the groove is right underneath the flower. And then from the side, you can see I've not overlapped my wires. And then from the bottom, you can see there's 4 wires going around the mandrel. Pretty easy, right? So next step is to just kind of lift up that flower just a little bit so all those wires snuggle up underneath the flower. And then you're going to actually take the 2 wires that you have remaining and wrap them around the bead. So the cool part about this is that at this point I can actually turn this around and show you what's happened. There's my 4 wires, none of them are overlapping. There's the side of the piece here. And you can see they're not overlapping, and everything's kind of being held in place by those 2 wires. I told you this was easy, but it's gonna look amazing. So pretty cool design. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna take this, and I'm just pulling it up on my mandrel. And I like to kind of snuggle this up just a little bit by grabbing both sides of the wire and kind of giving it a good pull. And that kind of keeps this bead from tipping back and forth and rocking back and forth. And then you're just going to take the extra wires and you're going to wrap them around underneath the bead. So you have just about an inch left, and then do the same thing on the other side. Just kind of come around, and you can make it as aesthetically pleasing as you want, just whatever you want the look to be underneath there. You can do a lot more wraps if you want to, and you can use more wire, or you can just do a few wraps. So the underneath just kind of looks like this. All right, so now all I have left are these two little pieces of wire, and this is going to be kind of like the closing wrap, if you will, on the piece. And I'm going to trim that up just a little bit because it'll make it a little easier on me. I use my chain nose plier for this part because this wire is a medium temper, and as you work with wire, if it's already a little bit hard, it'll get a little bit harder the more you work with it. So when I'm doing this, I'll start it with my finger. I'll start pushing it through like that, but I'll usually kind of grab it with the chain nose plier and kind of give it a tug just to kind of make sure that it's really tight. And we're going to wrap this around 3 times on the side of the ring. And one more time. Just make sure you don't overlap them. I mean, you can overlap them if you want to, but it's better not to overlap them. So you can see it's getting kind of short here, so that chain nose plier is really helping me out. Then I'm going to kind of snug that up a little bit, come over to the other side, and repeat. So push it through. Now you can see, this is a tip for you. Instead of trying to pull the wire through the first time, I always kind of push it through with my finger. That allows that wire to kind of form to the band of the ring. Whereas if you try to pick it up and push it through, I don't know, things just get a little loosey-goosey. So always push through with your finger and then pull from the other side with the chain nose. Wrap it around. And once again, I'm going to push through with my finger and pull. And then one more time to make it an even 3. Push through and pull. And so you can see I'm kind of ending up underneath the ring here. Now at this point, I usually will kind of push this up on the mandrel just a little bit just to kind of make sure everything is the right size and everything is kind of snuggled together, and that I'm at the size that I wanted to have, which was a size 8. So all you have left to do is trim off the last of those wires. So I have got this little piece right here. I'm just going to pull it out just a little bit. You're going to take your chain nose plier and you're going to clip that off about halfway across the band underneath. And then same thing on the other side. Now this is why a good flush cutter is so important, because you absolutely don't want something really sharp on the inside of your ring band. Now we are going to press it into the band of the ring so that it doesn't stick out, but having a good flush cutter is essential. So finally what we're going to do here is we're going to grab that little piece that's sticking out, and you're just going to want to press it into the band. Now you've got a lot of wires right here. There's 4. So as you press this, it should kind of snuggle up between a couple of those wires a little bit. So you should be able to go like this. Can you guys see kind of how I'm pushing my finger through there? You shouldn't feel anything. And if you used a good flush cutter, you won't. And then you're just going to grab the other side here and do the exact same thing. I'm just taking that chain nose plier and I'm pressing in, and then I'm just going to check. Make sure everything feels good. So looking good. My final step is, once again, just going to pop this up the ring mandrel like so and kind of press that up to the size 8. And then I always turn it around and do the same thing in the other direction. I'm a little shy of my size 8, but pretty darn close. So let's see if it fits my finger. But that is it. That's the whole thing, guys. And ta-da! Easiest flower ring ever. So in order to make the easiest flower ring ever, you are going to need some basic tools and supplies. You're going to need some 20 gauge wire. Now I used a bare gold wire from Parawire, which is fantastic. Nice medium temper wire. Then you're also going to need a ring mandrel. I did use a grooved ring mandrel today, but like I said, any ring mandrel will do for this project. Then we're going to use our flush cutter. This was plier 61, one of my absolute favorite flush cutters because it's just incredible. And then of course I used my trusty chain nose plier to press down and to pull wires through the ring. And that is about everything you're going to need except for that flower, but I used mine already. But here it is, and I've got a fantastic ring to show for it. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys would like to pick up some supplies like the ones I worked with today, check out the links down below. What other easy jewelry projects would you like to see? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and we'll see you again next time.